Malfurion versus Uther.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen,
fight with honor.
the finals between Asahida and AlwayZ are starting right now. It's gonna be best of 7. Let me just wait for Asahida to communicate me the deck bans and picks. Okay, we're gonna find out right now.
What to do? What to do?
Illume, guide my
I
life.
wait for no one. Reporting for duty.
I feel icky.
Alright, I noted everything down. So the matchup are actually even in the deck slots. So we have Hunter, Warlock, Mage, Druid and Paladin from both sides. So the metagame has solidified in a state where everyone bans Warrior and picks the other 5. Okay, the finals are gonna be using these decks. The first match is gonna be Druid versus Paladin, which looks like to be mid-range Druid, obviously, and mid-range Paladin. Unsure which matchup is favorite. It all depends on who gets the better start. Nice turn with a swipe. Now let's look at Asahida's curve. For now, he's gonna benefit a lot from the Darnassus Aspirant. Usually in this matchup, who gets to keep this card alive gains such an advantage that eventually he is gonna just combo out the other guy. Just look at the health differential, 30 points of life versus 18 already on turn 4. The early game pressure was enough for this, so it's looking pretty good for Asahida, and without the token generation being maxed out and interrupted by swipe, I don't think it's gonna be that easy for AlwayZ to come back from this position. Turn 5 was coming up, probably in his hand. I don't see it right now because production value isn't that optimal. But it should have. I'm guessing the dude that just buffs the silver hand recruits is over there.
I feel icky.
Okay, more pressure coming over from Asahida. Now let's think what does AlwayZ need to get back into the game. First of all, I think a true silver or something to clear over the Darnassus Aspirant would be nice. Consecration is also actually a better solution because it deals with the Leopard Gnome as well. And the commentator is... I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Lupulasa. I played in the brackets. I got raped by, I think, Dark Daddy or something. and his mid-range druid. I've seen a recurring theme throughout this tournament is that druid always gets off his combo and druid always wins when that happens. Let's see if this match is the same case. Chances from this position and board state seems to be about 90%, 10% in favor of Asahida.
Let me think.
8 health. He's basically Major Domo with a shit hero power. Ragnar, sorry. A lot of burn in his hand. It's 6 points of damage, 2 with the hero, 7 with the hero power. And it's looking very green. Oh, that might help. Cons that low are so crucial to stay in the game. Now let's see what can happen. These are kinda dead draws. He needed actual cards at this point of the game to just finish him off. He can go with the knife juggler and machine gun living roots, and I think he's gonna do that. If both knives hit face, let me see, does that change anything? It's gonna be 2 off little. It's still, listen, okay, 1 to the face. Okay, 2 to the face. Pretty good, yeah. He already used 1 swipe, so that's fairly important. I don't think he used both living roots, so if he top decks,
Time waits for no one.
he might just have to brute force through the taunter, which is a pretty annoying one with the divine shield. Oh wow, so many resources expended for the swipe. It's barely lethal. But this board is also scary. Let's see what can deal with this. He's gonna need something, another swipe. It isn't turn 8 already for something like Tyrion, for example. So he's on the back foot a lot, but he does have always has the card advantage. Such an uncomfortable position to be, especially against Druid. He can just draw Force of Nature, Living Roots. I think Asahida is running the Furl card that buffs your hero power, the 4 mana, 5/4, that gives you extra attack. He can finish off that way.
Let me think.
Let's not mention that he cannot use his weapon, which has a lot of durability, to trade off against.
Quickly.
He's not in a position to do that.
The victory is yours.
And yes, that seems to be the game. Game 1 goes to Asahida, taking a win off of AlwayZ, eliminating his paladin. Let me just note that down. Okay. Yes, Savage Combatant. Guys, you should tell me if you want the in-game music and sound effects to be lower. My microphone is basically made out of toilet paper, so I'm gonna try to do what I have. Okay, let's see, the next matchup is gonna be Asahida keeping his druid versus, let's see what AlwayZ picks. A hunter.
Valkyrian versus Rexar.
Let's see if it's the mid-range kind or one of the more aggressive face or hybrid hunters. I'm guessing it's mid-range, based on the previous matches. Okay, nice curve with a turn 1 Leper Gnome. Druid of the Saber has gotten a lot of popularity in druids nowadays, and I've been quite impressed with how well it has been performing. It can answer, for example, knife jugglers on the other side in the charge mode. It can help you get a reach the combo with the stealth version, so versatile. Same for Living Roots. These two and the Darnassus Aspirant have made mid-range druid quite a nightmare. I'm still having post-traumatic flash syndromes. Okay, swipe has been drawn. Judging by this play, I'm guessing it's gonna be the mid-range type. Let's see how Asahida is gonna deal with it.
What to do?
Classic living roots. Wow, that's such a good outcome. Is it like a 25%? I think it is. Two 50-50s on the money.
Time waits for no one.
I can feel the salt from over here. And if this isn't explosive trap, is gonna be so bad. I see he held off of Lepernom in case that was explosive trap, so he's playing it safe. He's already enough ahead. It's always Hopper. Okay. It could have been worse. Now I'm guessing he's gonna check for the secrets, and it's gonna turn out to be a freezing trap. Yes. By playing it safe, he missed out on 2 damage, for example. But that's not gonna be much of an issue in this matchup.
Another night on the prowl.
Oh, okay. He's preparing for a nice Savage Roar turn. Versus mid-range Hunter, he's gonna probably use Savage Roar to just clean off his shit. Eagle Horn Bow comes out. Oh, that feels so bad. Killing the Lepernon with your weapon. And closer and closer, mid-range druid is gonna reach the critical health point. Piloted Shredder doing what he does best, being an absolute nightmare to have on the other side of the board. It's already looking grim for AlwayZ. As a pattern in this tournament, I've seen a lot of players, I think over 50%, just open up with Druid and always get like 1 or 2 easy wins. It's been the theme of the tournament. Druid can win against everything, especially with the tempo mechanics like Innervate, Wild Growth. Efficient cards, like all of their cards are so good. Living Roots. What the hell is his name? Druid of the Saber. Piloted Shredder is always the Piloted Shredder. Cards like Swipe, Night Juggler, a nightmare to deal. And of course the finisher, which basically ties everything together. Okay, there's a link in chat. That seems to be a virus or something, so don't click it, okay?
Put this apple on your head.
And Fallen, about the rules. The rules are old school. It's the winner's deck stays in. And I agree there are better formats, for example the Conquest format that is popular with BlizzCon and other games, in which you have to win with every deck. The deck that wins gets eliminated, so to speak. And I agree from a caster's and a viewer's perspective, it's more fun to watch. As we can see, AlwayZ is running a flare in his Hunter in anticipation of Secret Paladins, which we haven't seen that many in this tournament. We've seen quite a lot of mid-range Paladins. Like half of the matches we've seen on NBS Cluj have been mid-range Palis, because their token generation was so bad to face up against. Now it's looking very bad for AlwayZ. Health differential is enormous. Card advantage is like 3 cards over. Board state is even better. And he does have the initiative. He's gonna attack first. Everything seems to go wrong. And if you're a mid-range Hunter, you want to be ahead by a little. And then you turn that little advantage into a big advantage when you drop stuff like hyenas and so on. If you're behind, I'm not a big fan of
Time waits for no one.
mid-range Hunter playing from behind. chances in this matchup from this state is like 90% to 10%. He's expending resources quite generously because he is ahead, using a swipe on the face, getting him closer to lethal. Let's see, does he have lethal next turn? So Savage Aurora is gonna turn into 4 damage. So he has 8 with a hero power 9, and he needs something else to push for damage. He doesn't have enough mana for Druid of the Claw. Hyena would have been better 1 turn earlier, but now it's turn 6. And he is setting up with a disgustingly sticky board. Playing around Explosive Trap, if anybody runs that. I don't think there's a single combination of cards that can win him the game, especially from the mid-range hunter lineup.
I wonder.
And Xiu, by the way, Green Patron was banned from both sides. Both sides brought Warrior and both sides banned it. If you're just tuning into the stream.
Put this apple on your head.
He cannot even kill the hyena. Oh wow. He needs the Juggles of the Lifetime and a Doomsayer or something. Those aren't the Juggles. And that's not a Doomsayer.
Well fought.
Okay, I can see. So it's gonna be 2-0 for Asahida, making 2 quick wins with his mid-range Druid. Asahida eliminated Paladin and Hunter from AlwayZ. The other decks available for AlwayZ to pick right now is Warlock, Mage and Druid. We could see a mid-range Druid mirror match. Mage, it's probably a Mech Mage or something. I don't think anybody brought Freeze Mage or any other variations. It also might be Tempo Mage, which was quite popular in this tournament. And Warlock is usually Handlock in this meta game. Okay, I'm guessing Warlock. Handlock.
Your soul shall be mine.
If it is Handlock, that's really unfavored versus mid-range Druid. Because you cannot play Molten Giants and the mid-range Druid just combos you down. Let's see how this turns out.
Job's done.
Very strong performance from Asahida.
The light protects me.
Oh, seems to be Zoo. Very interesting. I haven't seen a Zoo this tournament.
Another night on the prowl.
We're gonna see a solid 2-drop in stealth mode. Haunted Creeper, just sticky minions from the Zoo side, and is gonna degenerate in the future with cards like Power Overwhelming, probably Direwolf Alpha. Oh, he's going aggressive to the face. It's good to be aggressive versus Zoo, but you can always get punished. Being aggressive versus Zoo means he cannot afford to tap that much for extra cards. But yeah, we're gonna see how it turns out. Revealing this minion was a questionable play because both of his minions on the board run so well into it. Maybe he just wants to do that because of a swipe follow-up. So that's his strategy. He's trying to make him overextend in a swipe. If he plays like a 4 health minion, swipe is gonna line up perfectly to kill that minion and the other 3 tokens. Let's see if that's gonna happen. Okay, that's a buff. Okay, another 1 health minion. He's gonna overextend. That's actually so good. Because I think he's gonna reveal the Shade versus the Zoom matchup and swipe the Impgan boss, leaving the board with just a 1 token. Yes, and that's exactly what's gonna happen. Very strong play, and he set that up perfectly. Dealing with the Impgan boss that well should be illegal. Oh god. And it's back to square one. There aren't many solutions to a board like this apart from just flooding it with living roots, creating tentacle porn on the board or something. He's gonna go for the Keeper of the Grove
Safeguard the
and just a singular living roots, which is a better and a more efficient use of his mana. The other play would have been to use both living roots, Hero Power and Leper Gnome, but that was slightly weaker. In this matchup it depends what you want to silence, keeping the Keeper of the Grove. Both plays are, for example, this is a pretty important target to silence. He probably has an activator for later on with Power Overwhelming. And he is gonna get a delayed tempo advantage. Another Saber-Tooth Panther. And more token generation. I think he's just expecting... yes, token generation. I think he's expecting to finish off with a combo and be as aggressive as possible. On this board state, Power Overwhelming is not that great. What could be great is a Direwolf Alpha or an Abusive Sergeant, but he'd already used one of those. One Abusive Sergeant.
Put this apple on your head.
Nice Juggler can actually clear some of that. Imp Gang Boss is excellent versus a board like this, and Power Overwhelming comes out. Gonna... not a great target for Power Overwhelming, but 2 extra attack was just wasted. Now it's gonna be a Force of Nature for card advantage and board presence. No need to save it if you have 2 of those. Going full face, let me think about it. It's too risky versus something like Handlock, not Handlock, Zoolock. Tricky situation. If he does Force of Nature right now, is there anything he can do to... I think he is going full face.
I'm waiting for no one.
Okay, he's opting to go for the clear on the Nerubian. So let's see, consider if he went full face. He was gonna be at 12. He has a 6 in hand, and he needed Savage Roar and stuff because he would have traded with Imp Gang Boss on the Saber-Tooth Panther. So yeah, going face was not enough, but this board state versus Zoolock that taps, just draws 2 cards per turn is pretty desperate. And guys, don't click on the link in chat. It's clearly a virus, okay? Some guys having fun and I don't have mods ready. Let's see what cards he's hiding. Flaming pretty late, but I think he can afford to trade the health. Doomguard, discarding another Doomguard, that's pretty painful, but it's really good that he has it. I think this game comes down to drawing Savage Roar or not. Shade, pretty good. Can he reach with just a Shade? Let's think about it. So that this Shade is gonna be 3. And the Savage Roar with Hero Power is gonna be 7. So I don't think he can get 1 extra health on nothing. Zoolock is also getting very close to lethal. It's basically make or break. 19 cards, 2 of them are Savage Roars. Another swipe, I think he used both swipes, or maybe that was the last match. Unsure about that. Swipe can kinda get him back into the game, but I don't think it's enough. It's all down to RNGesus. 14. Now on AlwayZ's mind as a warlock, he's just thinking, should I tap or not? Does 2 extra health matter? And with a board like that, I think it definitely does. Because let's think about it. What can he draw with Force of Nature? Like a simple 1 damage. Actually, it's gonna be complete lethal. Wow. I think that was a mistake. Because it's 3 plus 6 plus 1. Wow. Punished very, very heavily. Okay, that's a dead draw, and with Force of Nature, Hero Power, and the Shade, it's exactly lethal. I think AlwayZ is gonna kick himself for that misplay. Somebody should just take a picture of him right now. So GG, it's 3-0 for Asahida, taking 3 wins with mid-range Druid. Asahida eliminated Hunter, Warlock and Paladin. So AlwayZ has 2 options left, which is Mage and Druid. And he goes with Mage. Probably Tempo or Mech. We haven't seen that many freeze mages. Very, very dominating performance. And look at this Druid. We haven't seen it in all matches, but I think he runs 2 Fell Rivers. It's the full YOLO balls to the walls Druid. I've seen a couple of matches beforehand when this card single-handedly won him the game. Let's see if he's gonna pull it off again. Seems to be Tempo Mage, judging by the Mana Worm. Leper Gnome versus Tempo Mage, kinda shitty. All the machine gun spells, it's gonna just ping him off. Not to mention he has the hero power. He chooses to just rage with it, which is fine. Double Innervate, wow. He has the option to go super aggressive, and in this matchup versus Tempo Mage, when you can match his tempo with cards like Innervate, you're good. Like innervating and coining a Druid of the Claw. He has to expend a fireball or all of his resources to deal with that shit. So it's already looking very, very good for Asahida. We don't know what 3 cards AlwayZ has in his hand, but the card quality between a tempo mage deck and a mid-range druid like this, a very aggressive one, and he goes for the Fell River. Did I see that right? Yes, he did. Wow. I like how he plays.
Well played.
Let's see how he can punish this. Probably with Frostbolt or something. With nothing, wow. So let's look at these cards. Swipe, Darnassus Aspirant and Living Roots. And he keeps the Keeper of the Grove. Wow. And I think now he's gonna just taunt up and go full face. Playing YOLO like this is so good when you're ahead 3 matches and you're trying to get an easy win. It's already 3-0. Are we gonna see a full sweep? Unlikely, but judging how well Asahida has been playing,
Where shall I strike?
I'm definitely a fan. Oh, look at that. A big taunt. Yeah, I think that's just... he just out-tempoed a Tempo Mage. That's just simply how it goes. It doesn't matter how many cards he discards. It's all in the probabilities.
Just like you.
Both Darnassus are gone, both Living Roots are gone. Yes, he runs 2 Fell Rivers, and the last 3 matches we haven't seen anyone. And now, Counterspell and Mirror Entity, I guess. It's looking very grim. I think he's gonna go face with
I must
Keeper.
safeguard the land. Safeguard the land.
That's actually a safer option. The thing that he needs right now is a Fireball or a Frostbolt to continue. He needs to stabilize, always needs to stabilize really heavily to come back from this position. It's already looking like 70-80%
I'll be just like you.
win chance for Asahida. Doctor Boom is out, Savage Roar is out, that's quite important. And Swipe, both Swipes are out and both Piloted Shredders are out. Wow, he's milling very heavily. And Knife Juggler, I don't think it's gonna matter. Yes, it doesn't matter, as long as you have this. Wow, 4-0 for Asahida.
Safeguard the light.
Such a dominating performance. The only deck left for AlwayZ is mid-range Druid, I guess. It's gonna be a mirror matchup. Or is it? Wait, it's 4-0 best of 7, that's just GG. What am I talking about? The extra deck was there for nothing. Congratulations to Asahida then. That was the shortest final best of 7 I have ever seen. Slightly boring, to be honest, because of the same deck staying. I would have preferred the Conquest format, but maybe next time. So GG. Thank you guys for tuning in, and the VODs are gonna be up on YouTube if anyone is interested. You can see them on my Twitch profile. I expected more, to be honest, but what can you do when you're that good?